Hello everyone, welcome back to the Glassgirls network. We're back once again. The three Glassgirl amigos have returned to your screen. And we've got plenty to talk about today, got plenty of news. But just before we get started, the Glassgirls network, obviously in partnership with Switch Sport. John, tell the people a little bit about Switch Sport.
Swiss Sport's great. Hello everybody, by the way. If you don't know what Swiss Sport is, then you've probably not been around the FA Women's National League that much, and the Men's National League as well. Home of the National League. Every Saturday it covers a men's team's game commentary. Every Sunday it'll cover a women's National League game, and then throughout the week it does multi-sport as well. Interviews with players, managers, and I've been formally associated with Switch Sport for a year. Obviously, I've supported for a longer time than that. However, we do have an update. There's a second member now to Switch Sport, not just me. It's Kieran. So, well done, Kieran. He's now officially a member of Switch Sport Radio. You're looking forward to doing a bit of commentary, a bit of interviewing, a bit of post-match, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously we know loads of people throughout the footballing space here in the Midlands. So I think being able to go and get a bit of content here and there, and actually go out and meet some people and do special things, I think is really exciting. So yeah, I don't know what we've got planned in the near future, but I'm sure somewhere down the line you'll be able to not only see us on your screens but hear us on your radios. So yeah, looking forward to it, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think the one positive from a selfish point of view has come from this blow up at Stourbridge over the last 14 months with so many people leaving, because they're still within the game and we keep in touch with these. You do learn a little bit more, and you've got contacts in other teams as well now.
Yeah.
So it is good to be able to, if you need to speak to somebody at so and so, oh, I know someone from there, she used to play for us. So I think obviously that kind of works in our favour. So yeah, good news. Look forward to sharing that one and seeing what happens with it. Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic. Yeah.
What about the link? What about the link?
Yes,
the link, of course. Go and click the link. Go and click the link in the description and find out all about Switch Sport, all the stuff they do. It's not just football. It's hockey and
rugby, boxing.
Yeah, everything. So yeah, proud to be working with them now. And yeah, go and support everything they do, because it's amazing.
It's also won a King's Award as well, and a King's Award is equivalent to like an MBE, but it's for a voluntary group. So you won a King's Award last year, which is the highest accolade you can get. So it's recognised by the King.
There you go.
Absolutely,
the King loves Switch
There
Sport.
you go.
There you go. Hopefully the King also loves the Glassgirls. We're going to be talking about them in a second here. We're not the Glassgirls network anymore, apparently. Hold back in for us, John. But in the meantime, let's talk about our two new recruits that have joined us since we made the last video. If you haven't watched that, go and watch that. We talked a little bit more about the squad that we've currently got in a bit more detail. But the two we've signed since then, players I'm not overly familiar with. I don't think any of us are, so we won't speak in too much depth about them. It's Lacey Hughes and Ella Brennan. Lacey joins us from Birmingham under 21s, and Ella joins us from Stokes, I believe, reserve side.
Yeah.
So yeah, John, anything that you can give about these two?
I think you just look at the youth, look how young some of these players are. So I think we all spoke very highly on the last show about a lot of stuff, didn't we? And I remember naming the players who came in previously, and I was talking about, Liv Owen, a mature, experienced Tier 4 player who's ideal for what we need, and others as well. I think these two are the more younger ones, so they can learn off Meg, hopefully not Meg's direction, and they can learn off some of the experienced players and not cause any troubles either. I think Meg's probably not just looking at the talent. I think he's looking at, okay, who's going to be with me for longer than a year, who can look at creating a group of people who can be with me for years to come, and that might be even away from Stourbridge. We've seen managers take players with them. Maybe she's looking at the characters, and maybe these are two good characters. I know obviously one coming from Birmingham, so Mike Harris, our former manager, will have crossed paths with her. The other one from Stoke, so our new assistant manager, Jack Hill. That's Jack Hill, not Jack Hill. Came Kieran will know that player as well, so maybe he's had some sort of say in bringing her across. But yeah, I think it's just more of the younger ones, maybe them versatile, maybe they're squad players, maybe they're first teamers. We don't know yet, do we? Because we've not had a chance to see games. But yeah, look, it's new faces. They look pleasant, don't they? I've not heard anything bad about any of these players. So yeah, let's get excited about them.
Yeah, and of course they also join Darcy Cartwright, Erin Griffiths, Liv Owen, Abby Bevan, Imo Poyle, Ellie Mae Locke, and also Demi Phillips now as well, who has been officially registered with the first team squad on FA full time.
Yeah.
Dave, obviously you know a lot about Demi from the time with the standard team, watching them last year. What can the fans of the first team expect if they've not seen her in action? They're very much.
I'm smiling and I'm crying at the same time. It's devastating that she's gone. She hasn't left the club. She's gone. She's playing higher now, tier 4 for the first team. She deserves her shot. She's been called up to the first team a few times in the past. She came on against Kidderminster in the cup, I think it was, and she came on. When was the last time? Against Nottingham Forest, I think.
Right.
She's made a few bit
Halifax, she definitely played as
she
well.
played a few
season.
games,
Yeah.
but now it looks like she's registered in the first team squad. Hopefully, she gets her chance. She deserves her chance. And I think she's a good addition. She really is. We said before, we've got a lot of time for Demi on and off the pitch. So yeah, I wish her all the best. Wish her all the best. It's going to be a big gap to fill at the standard team, which we'll elaborate on a bit later.
Yeah.
But again, to keep repeating myself, she's got a chance, and I think she's going to take it by both hands.
Yeah. I think she's sort of an ideal player to have at the moment, where we don't have a million bodies through the door, because she's very much a player that can play anywhere.
Versatile.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We've seen her at full back, we've seen her at centre back, striker, winger, pretty much everywhere on the pitch. I think we've said that maybe in the last one. I feel like I'm getting deja vu from this conversation, but
on that, and we'll touch on it a little bit more, there's a behind closed doors game that was actually put on YouTube, and if you go to our playlist, it's actually on our playlist as well now, so you'll be able to click on it. It's Ready Butter, and you guys saying that if you actually just watch where Demi Phillips plays, she plays in probably 4 or 5 different positions just in a half an hour clip. You're absolutely right if you can. So
there you go. You've nailed it.
Exactly.
She's playing 4 or 5 positions in a 90-minute game. Bayo's always saying, well, what's she like against right back? What's she like centre back, centre mid? So yeah, again, versatility, guys. That's Demi Phillips.
And we'll talk about those behind closed doors games in a while, because there's some interesting points to be made there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Let's start with our outs then. I think we covered a few of them last time, but quite a lot has happened since then. These are the players that have been officially registered on FA full time, so none of the rumours or anything like that. First off, Harriet Grimshaw. We spoke a lot about her, I think, last time when she won her National League award. Obviously now she has completed the move back home, I guess, to Stoke. She's gone back up there, remaining in tier 3 as well. For a Stoke side that are. They were building something towards the end of last season, definitely.
Best team I saw down there, technically wise, footballing wise.
I mean, for a while in years gone by, they'd been sort of a
average,
lower end mid-table side. But last season, I remember there being talks for some while that there was outside chances of them getting promotion. Obviously, it was quite unlikely and didn't end up happening in the end. But they were right up there for large parts of the season, weren't they?
They got off to a bit of a rocky start with the teams that they played, which obviously that means it was never at the top because it was always playing catch up. But I think they finished about 3 points behind Wolves in the end, something like that. And the end of their season, I don't think they got the credit they deserved, to be honest, because as Kieran dropped his phone, hopefully that's not correct. I don't think they got the credit they deserved, because the second half of the season they've probably done better than any other team. Put it in the comments if you got some stats, because I think that there was right up there. They won the County Cup as well against Calcer quite comfortably, won it in the first half. I think it was 4-1 up in the first half or something. Obviously, but there is a bit of a change there now, so the manager's changed. No reserve team there anymore, hence why Jack Hill probably became available.
That possibly means the football style will change as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is most recognisable down at the War Memorial Ground. I remember saying last year, lads, when we done our predictions, that Stoke would have been one of the teams we could have got a draw and at least beat, because they looked bang average when they played in the season before.
Yeah.
And the way they played football last year, neat, tidy, fast, counter-attacking, really good.
Yeah.
I was going to say hopefully because I couldn't care less really about the team on Stour, but if they keep that momentum going, they've got a good chance of challenging again next year, boys.
How you think goes on there?
That's a major bonus.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited for that because obviously Stoke are going to be a better side than we were in Tier 3. So it will be interesting to see how she fits into a side like that. I think she'll obviously still perform amazingly. Yeah, exactly. Very good. Very good.
She's only got to roll out of bed to get there as well, isn't she? She's a Stoke girl on the doorstep.
Yeah,
Makes
exactly.
sense anyway.
She has got competition now that they've signed in the goalkeeper in the last week. I think formerly of Burnley or Halifax. I can't remember exactly, but I'm sure I saw something on Stoke's Twitter page. So she has got competition. That's fine. I think to be a top team as Stoke is, you do need two.
Yeah, of course
you do need two keepers, but she's young enough, and I'm glad she's gone there because she's had obviously offers elsewhere, and it's close to home. It's Tier 3. It's a step up. It's a big badge. Hopefully she's happy there. And the videos when she first signed was quite good.
Very
as well,
cool.
So
very cool.
Very professional.
Yeah, she deserves that. So well done to have.
I think she's a Tier 3 player as well, boys.
100%.
Yeah, that's biased aside. I think she's a Tier 3 player.
100%.
Yeah. And you get what you deserve in the end, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about the Kausa trio then. Kausa, another obviously Tier 3 side, a few girls remaining in Tier 3. I don't know if they've been all officially announced, I know, but they are definitely on FA full time, so it is public knowledge that Rosie Axton, Demi Walker and Meg Hadley have all gone to Kausa for this season. Rosie has definitely been announced, I've seen her one. And yeah, Demi and Meg as well. Obviously, Meg left towards the end of last season. Didn't find a club, I don't think, officially.
Yeah, she was training elsewhere, wasn't she?
But now she's back. She's back in the game full time, playing with Sporting Kausa. John, what are your thoughts on those three acquisitions?
I think that's which way do I go down here? So I think Kausa is the right team for them in regards to level. So bottom of Tier 3. That's no criticism. I wish we were still bottom of Tier 3. Rose Jackson's obviously played for a lot of Tier 3, Tier 4, Tier 3, Tier 4 teams in the past. She probably feels that last season she didn't do not as well as she would have liked, but because she was injured, she probably didn't show the best version of herself. I know that she's tried elsewhere, and she chose Kausa for one of those reasons, and I think she seems very happy there. We watched her play against Kidderminster Harriers, as did Demi Walker, and Meg Hadley was also there. So yeah, play with smile on the faces. Demi Walker as well probably feels like she wants another crack at it. So she came into Stourbridge last season, halfway through the season, well, a little bit before halfway, and didn't do the whole season for whatever reason. She probably feels she wants another crack at it. And Meg Hadley's only ever played for Stourbridge at Tier 3 level. So I think these three players is the case of, okay, do I really believe that I'm a Tier 3 player? If the answer is yes, prove it at Kausa. And Kausa's gone through a change as well. Obviously, new manager themselves. I think good luck to them. It's going to be hard though. I'm not going to turn around and say Kausa did very well last season, but they're going through a change. So it's not like they're going to go there and I don't think they're going to go there and have a load of the possession. I think it's going to be very much like Stourbridge last season. Maybe not as bad in regards to 5 points at the end of it, but I do think that they'll be a very defensive side team. So let's see how they crack on. But yeah, all three nice people that we've known for quite a while now. So and interviewed them all on the Glassgirls network. So scroll back. We've interviewed Rosie, Demi, and Meg. If you want to learn a little bit about them, go back in time.
Definitely, yeah. Jumping down a tier, back into Tier 4, obviously where we are. Two players that have become rivals to us now, hopefully won't be doing as well as us this year, is the Sutton Coldfield duo of Chelsea Tague and Olivia Ashfield. Two players that I was kind of surprised to see go.
I thought they might have stayed.
I thought they might have stayed as well.
Them,
but no. Obviously Sutton have seen something in both of them and got them in. Let's give our thoughts on them two there. Obviously, Liv Ashfield, I was quite a big fan of, a very versatile player. Seemed to give it all for the team. But like I said, versatile. She's played up front, winger, full back. I think centre mid potentially at times as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm good to see her go. And also Chelsea, I liked her as a direct attacking full back as well. Pacey girl. Had a bit of ability on the ball and off the ball, and it's a shame to see them both go.
I know that we spoke about Liv Ashfield and Chelsea Tiger in the past, so obviously I'll let you have a little say, but I think for me that's about the right level, because we're probably competing with Sutton Coldfield this season. Let's see, I could be completely wrong, but I think that's kind of like our level. So it appears that yes, they're probably still at the same level, but they've just chosen to go elsewhere for whatever reason. So yeah, I'll hand that one over to you, DG, because I know that we've mentioned it a little bit in the past about the lack of.
Yeah, but I think both you two have nailed it there, really. I've got to be honest, let's be totally honest. I'm surprised Balo didn't keep Liv Ashfield. I've heard good sound bites about her. You just said about her versatility again. Obviously, speaking about Demi Phillips can play wide, up front, full back, etc. Very pacey. But a lot of the girls we had last season underage just didn't see enough of them. Just did not see enough of them playing 90 minutes. So to kind of judge them on their 90 minutes ability, I find personally very, very hard. Didn't see enough of Chelsea take, but as you said, Key, St Coldfield have obviously seen enough in those girls to take them on full time.
Definitely.
So they're going to be additions to their squad, which they think are going to improve them, and good luck to them. Good luck to them both. But I thought Liv would have definitely stayed Ashfield. I was quite hoping to see her on the wing going forward. The bits and pieces I did see about her, she's very busy, very pacey. You know me, guys, I like pace. I like wingers, I like pace. I think she could have fitted in, but at the end of the day, it's down to Balo. There've been trials, there's been, girls going here, girls going there. They've made their choice, like you said, John. They're probably at the same level. Wish them well, but I hope we do better.
I think that was the two. I think that was the thing. I think Darcy Cartwright was no surprise that she retained Erin Griffiths as well. Yeah. And the other two I would have thought was hoping for really would have been them two.
Yeah.
Because I just think that they're obviously local. They're not living in, well, as far as I was aware, they're not living like in Stoke, for example. So yeah, those were the two that I kind of thought, okay, yeah, maybe they would have stayed. But again, same level, just want to try a different club maybe.
Yeah. And I'm glad Darcy Cartwright is staying. The same kind of narrative as Liv Ashfield. Didn't see enough of her coming on the sub for the last 10 minutes, maybe starting for the first 20. Didn't see enough of her. Now she's under Balo. She's probably had conversations. She's probably going to get more game time. Where is her best position? So I'm looking forward to seeing more Darcy Cartwright this year. See what she's all about. What can she bring to the team rather than coming off the bench for the last 10 minutes? Yeah, that is an exciting thing.
Yeah, played as a bit of a right forward in that behind closed doors game as well. So that'll be interesting to see if she ends up playing there or elsewhere. So plenty of familiar faces as well, isn't it?
100%. Yeah, and obviously two more faces that we know now that have gone to Sutton. I think Sutton has been a massive clear out this season, and I wasn't really too familiar with the new management staff or any of the girls that they've retained there. So yeah, another string to add to our bow.
Not only with the same rivals and the same level, opening game of the season.
Yes, of course.
Caulfield.
Yeah.
So
it's a Stourbridge derby, isn't it?
Stourbridge
derbies. All most players have played for Stourbridge.
Well, they're going to be this level now. In this level now, I know I've just probably three teams. There's probably 3 or 4 teams that no one's played at Stourbridge before.
Yeah.
Not counting Barnsley, Lincoln United. Obviously, we've got Lincoln Women now. Sorry, apologies. Lincoln Women have got Tilly. Yeah. So interesting.
Yeah, it's always going to be a fun occasion, definitely.
Yeah.
And then dropping down another tier to tier 5 now. I don't know if we've spoken about these lot already, going to Redditch Borough. Yeah. But there's 4 of them anyway. Jess Hood, Sam Baker, Daisy Clements and Catherine Pagan. The Catherine Pagan one, obviously we didn't see a whole lot of her at all. I think she was, like you say, dual signed with us and Redditch Borough, but she's officially been retained there. So I think her time at Stourbridge has come to an end.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think the agreement was more in favour of Redditch Borough, so if they needed her, she'd be there. If not, she'd be at Stourbridge. So she spent a lot of the time at Redditch Borough. But yeah, good for her to be getting game time at tier 5. Obviously, knows Aid really well from a few different clubs.
And Dave Healy as well.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Speaking of players that know Aid very well, Daisy Clements. I think,
any relation there?
No, I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
That's coincidence, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, obviously she's gone there. Dave, you were a sponsor last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, obviously Daisy Clements in tier 5 seems a bit of a cheat code. I feel like she's going to perform outrageously well there. And Redditch Borough, I think, are dark horses for that league.
Okay.
Because obviously there's a lot of good teams, your Lies.
What's the odds, Kieran? You had a look at the bookies.
No, I've not had a chance yet. But I'll be putting serious money behind Dane Clements. So yeah, again, another player that I think is far too good for that level is Jess Hood. Obviously, I feel like she's one as well. I feel like we're saying this with all the girls, but we potentially didn't see enough of her, doing full 90 minutes work at Stourbridge last season, in a few positions as well. She was through the centre and out wide at times. So yeah, for her to get a bit of solidity into her football and understand her game time and her position, I think will only do her well.
Yeah, I think we did see enough of Jess Hood to rate her, didn't we? So I think that's a great signing for Reddish Borough, and they have signed really, really well. And we'll talk a little bit about Reddish Borough because obviously Aid, our former manager, has gone there. And yeah, they are doing well. They are dark horses. I don't even think they're dark horses anymore because I think that expectancy is there now. You've got a former tier 3 manager, most prominently a tier 4 manager in tier 5. You've got tier 3, tier 4 players now in tier 5. Just look at what they're doing behind the scenes. They are doing something really, really good there. The promotion that they're doing as well. Yeah. If they can spend that much time and effort and they've got enough volunteers there to do what they're doing, they must be doing something right. I think it might be one season too early. You look at what Lloyd's done over the last 2 or 3 years. They missed out on promotion last year by 1 game. They missed out on the promotion the season before by 1 game with Worcester.
And the season before was us.
yeah. So yeah, probably right there. So yeah, it's I think it could be a little bit too early for Reddish Borough. However, they've got to be up there, man. They've got to be challenging. We did a little poll on the Glassgirls Network YouTube. So if you want to have a look on there, where Redditch going to finish, where are you going to finish next season at his new club? I says top 4, middle 4, bottom 4. In my opinion, top 4, and he'll go again. And I'm going to talk about this now as well. This is the thing where I think about when I'm late at night and everybody else is switching off. I start thinking about what could have happened, how could it have been, and what could have happened is we could have got relegated, as we would have done eventually at some point probably. We could have been in tier 4 with Aid, with these players. They're Aid players and they're young players. What he's building at Redditch could have been what
us.
Could have been us.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for whatever reason. They decided to take that elsewhere, and I get it. But yeah, no, good luck to him because obviously he's going to build something there and do well, hopefully. So,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, and Aid's a guy that I think we've all got a lot of time for. So yeah, obviously wishing him all the best. Dave, do you just want to mention something about Jess Hood just before we close this chapter on our departed players?
I've only just got over the Kidderminster loss. It's
taking you this long.
It's taken me this long, the penalty loss. And I want to mention, obviously, Jess Hood with the penalties against Kidderminster Harriers in the Cup. She missed her penalty, but I want to give her major kudos. I'm actually lyrical a little bit about it because when we played Birmingham, was it under 21s?
Yeah.
What was it, the Shield?
Yeah.
Down there, went to 2-2. In the plate.
Was it? No, it was County Cup.
County Cup. It was a cup competition anyway. It was the first person who was the one that had the cojones to take the first penalty. Jess Hood stepped up, a bit like Stuart Pearce at Euro 1996, after his penalty miss in 1990, buried it. But the best thing about it, when Gwen missed hers, who was the first person to comfort her? Jess Hood. And I think that needs recognition.
Of course
it takes a lot to do it, to go and take a penalty a month, it wasn't even a month after, it might have been 2 or 3 weeks after.
I think it was the
following game, basically. To take a penalty after missing, and going out of the last trophy, and to go and comfort somebody else, I just think that needs recognition. It hasn't been spoken about, and we're speaking about it here. So best of luck to all the girls that's left. Obviously, my sponsor Daisy Clemens under her dad, but Jess Hood, it's quite a touching moment as well at the time because coming off that loss and then everyone excited. Lizzie Bent Steele, who was obviously left as well. She scored the winning penalty.
Yeah.
And it was one of the highs, if you like, for the season last year. But yeah, she definitely tugged at my heartstrings that day.
Yeah, 100%. Right, let's talk about the big meaty topic that is the behind closed doors pre-season friendlies that we've had so far. The BCDs indeed. Redditch Borough, obviously we've just spoken a whole lot about them. Got to see them full 30 minutes worth of action, and Hensford as well. Let's start off with this Redditch Borough one first. The loss to 3-2. Sorry.
Yeah.
John, talk us through this one as a whole.
As a whole, I like that. I don't really care too much about the results just yet. No. That's not the talking point.
No.
The talking point is Stourbridge promoting it as a behind closed doors game, and then Redditch Borough basically having fans there, and potentially some of our fans as well. I don't know. Depends where you've seen it advertised, or if word's got round, you might not even know it's behind closed doors. And I understand that some of the players who are under the age of 18 might have to have the parents there. Someone quite rightly pointed that out. I get that. but there was a lot of fans there, and it wasn't behind closed doors. It was very well heavily advertised from their behalf. 30-minute highlights on a pre-season friendly. Now, for us fans, I love that. Keep it going. I love that. If anyone wants to put 30-minute highlights out of every Stourbridge game, I love that. But if it's supposed to be behind closed doors, what's happened there?
Yeah.
Daisy's obviously retweeted her goal, and rightly so, because if it's out there, why not retweet it?
Goal as well.
Yeah, the first
She didn't celebrate, by the way. She didn't celebrate against us.
There's lots of reason or not. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Either way. So yeah, that's obviously started it off. Okay, it's behind closed doors. Then obviously the Redditchborough put it out. So that could be one of two things. Did Redditchborough even know that it was supposed to be behind closed doors?
Is it a communication error?
Is it a communication error, or is it just a bit of lack of respect there? Thinking like, we've got a cameraman here, who's if it's the one I'm thinking of, is just quite a bit for Redditchborough.
Yeah.
And good luck to keep doing what you're doing. Always at the fact that we don't really care what you say, Stourbridge. We're gonna upload this because we've got some good content here. I don't know what it is, but either way, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth for us Stourbridge fans who would have gone there to see our former manager.
Yeah.
But obviously we was kind of told not to go, and out of respect, we didn't go. We know that we could have gone to that game, the same as the next game. But out of respect, we chose not to go because Stourbridge said not to. We're the ones that would have gone the most.
Yeah, it's a bit of a disappointment, isn't it? Because pre-season is a really, really nice time, I think. The results don't really matter. It's all about building a squad and
catching up with people.
Yeah, catching up with people that you haven't seen for ages, and for meeting some new people, meeting the players, meeting the parents, doing all that. I think back to the Aberystwyth days and all the great games that we've had in pre-season in years gone by. And then all the times where we've learned to know these players a bit more and learn what they're about, but also what they're like off the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
How many times after pre-season friendlies were we going back to the Glassgirls bar and having a few drinks and whatever, in the sun as well. Obviously, it's the best time to go and have a drink in the sun over the summer. And it's just a bit disappointing that wasn't. It just doesn't seem like it's been done properly almost. Obviously, accidents happen. It could have been an error our side, could have been an error Redditchborough side. Exactly. However, it's a bit strange that it's happened twice, right?
Get your thoughts on it, DJ, because I'm not against behind closed doors.
No, absolutely
I'm not against behind closed doors. In fact, I thoroughly get it.
But let's just make sure it's behind closed doors.
Well, yeah, because what you're doing is you're annoying not just us. There's Stourbridge fans out there who are Stourbridge fans, not just women's football fans. They are Stourbridge fans, and even they are now saying something's not quite right with how things are looking. So go on, mate.
Yeah, well, you've probably taken everything I was going to say there, really. I echo everything you guys are saying. Was it a communication problem? Was it ignorance? We're not going to know unless we know behind the scenes what it was. So obviously, Hensford last week advertised it. Somebody put on Twitter, Hensford are advertising and you're not. What's going on?
You know who you are. We're not going to name you. But we're not going to.
John knows that. I don't. But there was no reply. So you're talking about club fans as well, but kind of hardcore fans, especially you two. I only go to the home games, but when you go away games as well, and you go like the likes of Andy Wall and Anthony Mills that comes up from Brighton and all other sorts of fans, they would have gone. We would have gone to those sort of games, and it's kind of. I'm not saying it's double standard. I'm not blaming Stourbridge at all, but it's a bit. Is hurtful the right word? Because when you see the highlight clips and when you see the photos put on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and see, well, he's there, she's there, they're there, and like you just rightly said, there could be some trialists there that are under 16, so the parents are there. Because it's on our doorstep as well. It's not like we're travelling. You said Aberystwyth. It's not like we're travelling to Wales. It's Redditch. It's Hensford, Cannock, or it's down at Dudley College. It's on our doorstep. We could pop along, give our support, have a nosy at what's going on. But yeah, again, we're reading between the lines, we're guessing, we don't really know. But like you just said there, it's a coincidence. At 2 weeks on the trot, we've had behind closed doors games. We're not involved, but the away teams are.
It's almost like with behind closed doors. You see loads of clubs do it. Everyone does it just to keep themselves to themselves, not post out results and stuff. But you always see it that there's no proper tweets. Full time results aren't always even posted. There's no lineups, things like that. there's just not a whole lot of fuss made about them, especially not a 30 minutes
Well, you
highlights
say
package.
that. Sorry, Keith, but the results came from Redditch and the results come from Hensford.
Exactly. Which makes it seem like, again, there's either an error with communication or something's gone wrong.
If you're trying to hide your trialists or hide your formation or anything, how can you hide it when you've got 30 minutes on YouTube?
Yeah,
it's crazy, isn't it?
And that's fine, hiding it. That's fine, but it's either behind closed doors for both teams, or it's not.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what we're saying, and also I do think as well, and I get it because that was Baylor's first game, so I get why it would be behind closed doors. Yeah. But I do also think they missed a little trick there because you're playing your former manager, and I talk on social media all the time.
Weekday as well, was it? Or was that
the
Wednesday?
Sorry, my bad. Yeah,
Sunday game.
Yeah, but I talk all the time about what's going to raise awareness in women's football is creative stories. Andy Fisher Kiddie was a perfect example of when we played Sarah versus Kiddie in the cup. Yeah. There's a story there. That's why so many fans turned up. Yeah. No, I'm not saying all they were turned up to see Aid or anything like that, but there's a story there. Baylor's first game is against the previous manager. There's a story there, and no one talks about stories anymore. Not on Stourbridge at least, but like the stories there.
Try to give it some sort of attention.
Yeah, even if you're not going to broadcast the game, just talk a little bit about it. We're playing our manager here, but obviously it's not on their agenda, is it? And that's why there's backward steps in cases.
Yeah, definitely.
So have we got any BCDs coming up? Do we know on the fixture list?
No, I don't think
so. Yeah, as scheduled, unless they're just not on the schedule. But
so we'll never know.
Yeah,
we'll never know, lads.
Yeah. But
tongue in cheek, but I agree with you.
No, it's true. But we've got TNS left, another former manager. Let's see if that's mentioned.
Yeah.
Mike Harris took us to our highest ever finish. Top 44 teams in England. I'm not expecting him to get praised or tweeted about. Well, he should be really, but if you don't tweet about Aid or Andy Fisher, then you're not going to tweet about Mike, are you? But either way, pre-season friendly. Mike's got his new team at TNS, and they're playing each other on the 10th of August. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, as of right now, it is open to the public.
Dudley College, 3G.
Yeah, we'll be down there. Obviously, if nothing else is said, we'll be down there.
I haven't made my mind up yet.
Yeah.
Standard are playing at the same time.
Is it? Okay.
Across the road.
Right, yeah, of course, yeah.
I'll do one half, and one half the stand,
run down, yeah. Let's talk about then the champions in waiting. Let's get on to that.
Let me have a drink first, because we've got a lot of ranting to do today.
Yeah.
we got a good 25 minutes left of this, so
there's plenty to talk about. The champions in waiting, obviously the new name segment for Stourbridge Standard. Dave, take it away.
Well, how long have I got? Bloody hell, we said 25 minutes. Look, tongue in cheek. I said I'm going to rant. I'm going to start on a negative, and then obviously we'll build into a high as well. So last time we done the podcast, boys, we were talking about the Standard team missing out on the league by a point by default. Leamington got the points because Ruby didn't play, and then they went up to win, gone up to win the league to go into Tier 6. Now, that's fair enough. So we were talking about Ryan Maxson, the manager. Have you got his picture there, boy?
Oh, there he is.
There's the man in the moment. There's the manager, Ryan Maxson. So we were speaking about Ryan trying to keep the majority of his players. We knew Demi was going to go anyway. More or less confirmed that she's gone. So that's going to be a role that needs to be filled. It's a big role to be filled, but they did have a good squad of players that could step up, and fill the position, because they were 12 points behind. We all know this story. They came back top of the league and they lost it. Since we spoke about champions in waiting, it's like I put a jinx on the club.
Yeah.
Because after that, ladies and gentlemen,
he's
gone. He's gone as well. Ryan's left the club.
Oh dear.
Joking aside, because it's not a joke. So I've got my notes here, ladies and gentlemen. I speak to Ryan on a regular basis because I made a promise that I am going to cover the Standard. We're going to cover the Standard, but I'm going to go to the games and wax lyrical about them and give them the recognition that they deserved. They've lost nearly half their team. Now you think about it, people may laugh, say, well, it's only Tier 7, it's only this, it's only that. It doesn't matter. Any form of football, whether it's men's Premier League to grassroots, you strip that team of nearly, not just all their best players, but not 3/4 of the squad. That's bad.
Yeah.
That needs replacing. And probably people watching this are thinking, well, the Stourbridge first team, they probably only got recovered or retained 2 or 3 players. That's correct. But the difference is, the first team weren't challenging for the league last season. We were struggling with relegation, so we probably do need a clearer and a brand new team. Ryan didn't. Ryan needs a tweak maybe here and there, probably another goal scorer. But does he need another goal scorer? He's got Chelsea Hassel and Katie Rogers banging in goals. Just somebody really to fill in Demi's role, and a new goalkeeper to give, to help Chloe Turner. However, after the last podcast, I'll read you what happened. Right, here's my notes because I can't remember all. I can, but I'll go into a major rant. So, I spoke to Ryan, and this was his words he used. We were victims of our own success.
Right.
Because the girls done so well, they were raided. So the likes of Demi Phillips, who we've spoken about, Kira Scarlett, that's probably a household name for Stourbridge.
Yeah,
she's gone to Redditch. Eddie Williams, who I was very impressed with, very, very skillful. She's been poached. I say poached, tongue in cheek, because obviously possibly they might be out of contract, summer holidays, they've got the choice to go here or there or everywhere, but she's gone. Abby Sivens, who for me is such a good player at 16. I know she's 17 now, but she's got such a bright future. She's gone. They've gone to Redditch in Tier 6.
This is Redditch United, by the way.
Redditch United, not Borough.
Which is a really interesting project in itself that they're building.
Yeah.
Katie Rogers, the goal machine, she's been, I wouldn't say she's been released, she's gone to a Tier 6 team. We're still waiting for her to be announced where she's gone. It's quite likely she may be joining the previous mention. Ella Castro and Alice Eva. Now, Alice Eva was retained the last time we spoke. The playmaker of the team, the one that caught my eye. Fantastic playmaker, spreading the balls to Chelsea Hazel, spreading the balls to Katie Rogers. She's not retained anymore. She's joined Ella at Bromsgrove Sporting, another Tier 6 team.
Yeah.
So these girls are choosing to step up to Tier 6. Okay. And then to top it all, the goalkeeper, we had EJ Lee leave, who was a prodigy for Chloe Turner. Chloe Turner's now gone to another team as well, and we've lost Eve Reynolds after 5 years. She disappeared. So the whole team, 3/4 of the team has been stripped. First team players, very, very good players. Now, I feel sorry for Ryan because he was onto something there.
Of course,
If we would have won that league last year, boys, we'd have been in Tier 6. There would have been no reason for these girls to leave. And I understand, I wish them all well. I wish them well in their careers going forward. Yeah. Would I have them back? 100%. All quality players. Yeah. Possibly some of them are too good for Tier 7.
Yeah.
You know? But they've gone to Tier 6 and I wish them well. But I don't want to make this about the players that's left. This is the Stourbridge podcast. This is about the Stourbridge Standard team as well. So we've got to talk about these players that are retained and we've got to build around what we've got. We've still got Chelsea Hassel, as we said last month. Mia Hillier stayed. We've got Tilly Ford, Erin Fox, Isla McNally. Now I've heard good sound bites about Isla. I saw her play against Knoll. I went and watched a standard 2 weekends ago in a friendly. Bit of a barometer there. The Tier 5 team coming down from Tier 6. We don't need to talk about the score. There was a lot of injuries. There was a lot of girls coming back from injuries. Yeah. Isla McNally for one. She's had ACL injuries, so she's going to be a bit rusty. It needs time. A lot of trialists. It wasn't Ryan's first team.
Right.
So it was a bit of a barometer. It's going to be a big rebuild. He needs players. He's going to have to get them in fast. And obviously, I won't forget any other players, guys. Lily Portman, Erin Hogan, the captain, and Ruby Harris have all been retained, which is good. So I'm going to give myself a little break before I add a bit more. Question to you, boys. Stripping of the team. I know it's not a complete team I've come and taken. They've made their choices. But how devastating is that, not just for fans of Stourbridge, fans as the standard, but for Ryan himself? He's built that team up and now it's been kind of ripped away from him and he's had to rebuild and start again. Yeah,
I think we've spoken to people to death about teams getting stripped apart on this channel, obviously this summer and the summer previous, so it's nothing we're not used to tackling really. But obviously, it's really tough, especially such a young squad as well. They're always going to be on these bigger teams, higher teams' radars because they're so young, they're so talented. So absolutely, obviously, no problems with the girls leaving and pushing themselves at a higher level. I commend that, definitely. But yeah, it's just a shame that, like you say, in such unfortunate circumstances, they weren't promoted. So these teams in Tier 6 are thinking, oh right, yeah, they're still a Tier 7 side. We'll have your best players. You can come and play for us. Yeah. Whereas in another world, they're right alongside these Tier 6 teams, playing them week in, week out. So yeah,
all to be stripped at once as well, Kieran. Yeah. It's key. Not just one player or two. 8 or 9.
Exactly. Yeah. I think it only takes 1 or 2 players sometimes as well to think that they're trying. They're pushing themselves and going forward. They're one of our best players. Maybe I should go and have a look, see what teams are interested, and then just the snowball effect from there. We've spoken about the snowball effect so many times. And it really has its effect on the squad, and I think that's no different here, really.
Yeah, I think there's also a difference because between 6 and 7, it goes from regional leagues to county leagues. So I suppose it doesn't mean too much, but if you are someone that's looking at your CV and someone who can kind of brag to your friends, you can say that you're playing in the regional leagues and not the county leagues. But I haven't got the quote in front of me, but I remember when all this was announced, Ryan quote retweeted it, and he said something really nice, and I think everyone was behind it. You know, he's not here to necessarily to keep the players. He's there to develop the players, and he's took great pride in developing these players that they're now playing in Tier 6. Now he took these over probably at the age of, I don't know, 14 maybe, I'm guessing, but it was a young age that he's been here. I've known him since it was Stourbridge under 14s West, was it? Or I can't remember, but it was definitely Stourbridge under 14s. I don't know if he looked after West or somebody else, but either way, just 2 under 14s teams. He took over one of them. And he's had these players for a long time, and he's now been able to get them into women's football at Tier 6. That Redditch United team are now looking very possible. You know, imagine they win the league and then do
Have you got the odds on them, Kieran?
No, I haven't looked in that deep. No, not that deep.
Imagine that though, they're playing in like Tier 6 next year, and then you got, well, they play Tier 6 now. What happens if they get promoted to Tier 5? They're not a million miles away, and obviously that knocks on our final point that we'll talk afterwards. But no, what Ryan's done is great, and I do feel sorry for him. However, he can know deep down that he's managed to get these group of players to a level where, it's just a shame that they're not Charles Stour, but again, there's a reason for that we'll talk about a bit later. But they haven't decided to leave him.
Exactly.
Yeah, in regards to, they haven't decided to leave him, but it's not because of him.
No.
It's because of the status, and it's, Ryan's one of the nicest people at Stourbridge. Everyone will say that. I never heard anyone say anything bad
They've
about
got
Ryan.
to test themselves in Tier 6. They're not going down to a league below 7.
Yeah.
And he knows he's got a big job in front of him. He knows he's got to rebuild, but the best thing is staying.
Yeah.
He hasn't kind of thrown his dummy out the pram and said, you know what? Whether he's a volunteer or not, whether he gets paid, I don't know. But he ain't gone, you know what? I can't be asked for this anymore. I've done all this work, and I haven't got my best players. Let someone else. He's staying, and he's recruiting. So we have added players.
Yeah.
And I spoke to him the other day. He's not getting players in willy-nilly. He's not just trying to make up the numbers. It's got to be the right sort of player. So we have brought in a girl called Tegan Hands. She's a striker. She was at Kew for the Eagles. She scored 13 goals in 19 games last season. She played against Knoll. That's good. You know what I'm like for looking at players in terms of their first touch, their movement, their eye for goal. She looks decent. I'm not going to lie. Karina Kumari, she came on. She played the majority of the game. She was at Wolves and she was recently at Live. She's had injury problems. Very good first touch. So there is positives there. Ellie Stark, I don't know if you guys know about Ellie Stark. She went to Liverpool University. She was played for the Stourbridge Youth. Mm-hmm. She's come back now, but she captained a university team. Okay. Back-to-back trophies. So there's something there. You guys probably know more about her than I do. So she's been added to the ranks. And he also said to mention they're close to completing 3 more signings. They're close. So there's 3 more signings that he wants, not just Tom, Dick and Harry off the street. There's signings that are going to replace, hopefully, the girls that have left. 2 more keepers to be signed, which we need. We haven't got a keeper. Now Chloe Turner and EJ Lee's gone. And he's got 3 more trialling. 4 more trialling, should I say, going into the first game, which is September the 7th, at home to Leamington Lions. And just, unless you want to add anything to them, boys, just quickly, the Worsley we mentioned on our last podcast isn't ready as of yet. Okay. They're still trying to make it a carpet for the girls, getting ready, because we are going to be champions in waiting. I'm not changing the name. We are. There are teams in Tier 7, I still believe, with the right players coming in and his style of football, we can beat and we can win. We can challenge. Yes, there's going to be a tough, you two are more educated than me. Whoever came down from Tier 6 last year are possibly going to be the favourites. But we're giving them a run for their money. We were 12 points behind last season. Mm-hmm. We can do it again. So have faith, have confidence, and believe in Ryan Maggs and what you can do. Definitely. And this, depending on when this goes out, ladies and gentlemen, as I just mentioned there, on this Sunday, the girls are at home, I believe, at Castleview, across the road from Dudley College, against Worcester City Reserves. So if you don't fancy the first team, come and join me down at Worcester City Reserves at Castleview and watch the girls get a result, hopefully. But yeah, anything else to add, boys, from what I said?
Just to add on to that, I think in terms of girls coming into standard now, I think it looks so good on both Ryan and the team that he can coach and develop players into Tier 6, potentially Tier 5 players, because
the proof's in the pudding.
And these girls coming in, you know, maybe not all of them are thinking, oh yeah, I want to stay at Stourbridge forever and ever. I want to, you know, become a legend at Stourbridge. Some of them will be thinking, this is a career opportunity for me. Stepping stone.
Absolutely.
And that's no disrespect to the team or to Ryan, but that's just the way that football works.
Yeah, that's correct.
And yeah, so you know,
that's the harsh reality of it sometimes, isn't it? But it'd be nice if he could kind of jump up. It does wind me up because I'm a fan of these girls now. They lost the league by a point by default.
Yeah.
And would they have stayed? If there was promotion,
that's a great question.
Would they have stayed?
A lot of them have gone to tier 6, so it's highly possible he was onto a good thing. Keep those girls and challenge. They might have. They're local girls, you know.
Mm.
I mean, a couple of them gone to Red. They're not from Redditch. They're Dudley based. They're Stourbridge based.
Yeah.
Playing in the same league, you know. Loyal, faithful. I don't know, but.
One last point before we move on to the last couple of things. Stourbridge as well has got a big badge when it comes to this level of football.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's tier 3 where you got Wolves and everybody else. It's the bigger badge in Stourbridge. When it comes to tier 7, oh wow, they're playing for Stourbridge. All of a sudden, you might get quite a few people, players, at least looking, and then obviously you can win them over. So I don't think you'll be short of players wanted to join at this level. I'm right in saying that.
Yeah, the badge
at this level carries quite a bit, doesn't it?
Attraction, yeah. Oh, by the way, player sponsorship will be out soon. I think when Ryan gets back out of holidays, when he gets his full team together, you know, get involved with the player sponsorship. It's going to cost me a fortune this year. I said it before. I promise so many girls are going to sponsor them. So, but it's all well, and you know, it goes into the standard team.
It helps. Yeah.
They use the VO. They need the upgrade for the VO. And I think you get you get a photograph. I think maybe or sign, not so much a sign shirt, but sign football and things like that. But yeah. I think that's all. I think that's all for now. Cool, until they play the next friendly on Sunday.
Yeah, brilliant. John, do we want to talk about this little topic? Let's maybe keep it brief because
it's on this.
We're on time. Speaking about youth football in general.
Yeah, so so we've kind of touched on it a little bit, but it's just something that come to my mind. I don't think enough got spoken last summer about no reserve team, and I think this is a great example of not having that National League reserve team. So that team got removed. From the women's section, which left our tier 7 team and our first team. Now, if we still had that reserve team, there's a pathway there to stick within Stourbridge. So players wouldn't have had to go to tier 6 to search for higher football. If they were good enough, they could have gone into that middle kind of ground. So I guess what I'm saying is the gap between first team and tier 7 at the moment is still big. It's the gap's closing quite quickly and quite big. However, yeah, just not having that reserve team made there be no option. If you wanted to step up, if you was a tier 7 player and you wanted to step up, there was no National League reserve team anymore, and you had to go elsewhere to look for higher place football. And obviously this is the issue, isn't it? And what was the other point? I had a couple of points there. Oh yeah, and the other one was that working with the first team now, you haven't got your reserve team to kind of fall back on. So last year and even this year, you know, we managed to get Debbie Phillips, even though it's not been announced, she's on FA full time. Debbie Phillips, we've managed to pull in from tier 7, but nobody else. And it's just like that gap. No one talks about it. Oh yeah, let's just, you know, get rid of the reserve team, whatever reason they came up with. What you've also done is you've lost any kind of power. So A. Clemens last year couldn't call upon his team because the gap was too big, tier 3, tier 7. Meg Bailey's not called upon anyone this year just yet. There are
as far as we know,
forward. Yeah, going forward, there probably will be. However, at the moment, only Debbie Phillips has signed, and not signed anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, so all these players who went to Bromsgrove and Redditch United, they haven't gone to Stourbridge first team, have they? So that gap is just so big, and that's what you're missing by not having that National League reserve team. You've lost that ability to keep some of your better players.
Yeah, I think that really didn't help with the mass exodus that we suffered last season as well, with a load of those players. You know, some very talented girls that I think probably would have been knocking on the door of the first team squad. You know, I think in Zara Gibbs, Kiara Stokes, you know, plenty more in that reserve team to mention as well. So yeah, I think last season we were definitely hindered as well, not having these points. You know, not having a few more players in the backup in the waiting room to call upon when needed. So yeah, it's a shame, but it's the way that it is, and unfortunately that is the problem that we have to face.
But I think also, to a caveat what you just said there, we spoke earlier, didn't we, about certain girls from the standard were called up to the first team. It's that gap in quality. You need, they are going to be squad players if you like, but you need a kind of like for like to an extent.
Yeah.
Even though how much I love the girls, the ones that left, they're not ready for that level of football.
No.
And that's
Can't
exactly
throw
what
to
you're
the Wolves,
saying.
can you? You can't just do it.
No.
Quite literally, you couldn't throw to Wolves last
At
year.
the moment, at the moment, they're good players, but they're not tier 3. They're not like for like players.
Definitely. Yeah.
So you're right. Why haven't we got that anymore? What's the reason for it? Why haven't we got that sort of squad player narrative, if you like, where we can go into the reserves and kind of chop and change? Why is the gap so big? You educate me because I don't know.
We used to. So so for about 2 years we had a tier 7 team, a National League reserve team, and the first team.
That's it.
And our National League reserve team, the season that it got disbanded or removed or whatever word you want to call it, we finished 4th in the whole of the Midlands. So you competed with likes of Stoke, Derby, all those kind of teams, and we finished 4th out of 12, and that was our B team. And of course this was our C team.
Yeah.
Because these were like under 16s, under 18s stepping up into women's football. So your first time in women's football, you're not really going to go straight into National League level. And it's just a great way of keeping your best 50 players in the area with you.
Well,
With you. And that's it. Yeah, absolutely. But now that we haven't got that, it's very hard to keep them.
Yeah.
That we've seen has been proven this summer.
Yeah, definitely. Right, we've spoken for ages, it feels like. Let's round it out now with a little bit of the preview for the upcoming pre-season friendly. Not behind closed doors, as we know. TNS. Not BCD, it's TNS. There's loads of acronyms going on today.
For now.
Yeah.
For now,
yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, FN for now.
Video goes out, who knows?
Yeah.
As long as TNS don't say it's behind closed doors, then we'll go and support TNS today.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, let's just talk about it really quick. Obviously, John, you spoke about narratives. There is a massive narrative here, not just with a manager, but with a player.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that one.
Yeah, so about 14, 15 months ago, obviously Mike Harris left the club, and now he's coming back for the first time to play against us. He won't be at the one more grade, he'll be at Dudley College. It's only a pre-season friendly, but it's nice to know that relationship is still there, where we can play against Mike, and Mike will have Lexi Harrison as one of his players, so former Glassgirl, now one of your favourites. Lexi played for us in Tier 4, helped us get promoted. She joined us in that January in Tier 4, got promoted with us at the same time as Lois Jeffries. That the old historians will know these players signed. So those two signed. And I remember Mike Harris saying to me at War Memorial Ground, I don't deal in maybes, I deal in definites. And he says to me at that Christmas, by signing these two players, we will definitely win the league. Sorry if I've outed you here, and he might not want that to go public, but he was right. And those are two quality players. Lexi obviously went to Wolves, and then went to Halifax.
Captain of Halifax.
Yeah, captain of Halifax at the start of last season. Halfway through, she joined her hometown or one of the local teams, Port Vale, and now she's back at TNS, where she's played before as well. So TNS, the new Saints, is based in Wales. It's fourth. I think they finished 4th in the top flight last year. So I'm sure Mike Harris will have aspirations to go a little bit higher than that this year. Yeah. And he signed some cracking players. If you do go to the game, you will see 2 other former Stourbridge players, if not more. I only know 3. So one's been announced, the other 2 I'm not allowed to say. But you will see 3 former Glassgirls playing for Mike Harris against Stourbridge on that Sunday the 10th. So I'll get down and have a look at him and say hello if that's your thing.
Hello.
Yeah.
Just quickly, boys. Just quickly on that, you mentioned Lexi Harrison. Light bulb moment. Do you think she'll be wearing Adidas World Cups?
Potentially. Yeah. Hopefully she's not changed to like some fancy, coloured.
I don't know, but she'll be in the gym though the day before. She's always in the gym.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. But perfectly wrapped up there, John. Well done. We'll see you hopefully in Dudley College. If you're not at Dudley College though, go to Castleview. I always get them too mixed up.
Don't get the Castle Vale.
Yeah.
As far as I know, it's there.
Castleview, yes. If not Dudley College, of course. But yeah, plenty of action going on for the Stourbridge teams this weekend, and I'm looking forward to it. It's good to be back in the flow of it. I think. Get to see some old faces, some new faces, and hopefully
some goals.
Hopefully some goals.
Some goals.
There you go. Perfect. Perfectly signed off. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Make sure you check out Switch Sport in the description as well. Don't forget about that. And we'll see you very, very shortly. Goodbye.
Come on, the standard.
Bash.